Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I'm going to be showing off the brand new Xanathar's Guide spellbook cards. This is actually the first spellbook card product I've been able to pick up personally. Where I live, which is in Nova Scotia, Canada, one of the Atlantic provinces, it is very difficult to find any of the Gale Force 9 items in stock anywhere, including the Dungeon Master screens, the spell cards, the Taroka cards for the Ravenloft or Curse of Strahd campaign. So it's been very difficult to ever find any of these things in stock. And typically what happens is, as soon as a store gets them in, within a few hours, usually they end up selling everything out. So it's very rare that I've been able to actually find a place that has had anything, especially when I've had the money to pick them up. So today I found these, and it's something that I just really wanted to pick up, just mainly because it's got a beholder on the cover. But I also want to start seeing if I can find and collect the spell cards for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. So I thought today I would just kind of show them off a little bit, and for anyone who's never seen the spell cards in person, this will show you basically what they look like. And what they are is they're things to help you out. They've got like the spell descriptions, all the pertinent information like the casting time, the component cost, the range, duration, everything like that, as well as what the spell effects actually are. And the idea is that if you have these, you can, rather than flipping through like player's handbooks or all these other resources, then you can just sort of have the cards for each of the spells that you have. So let's dive right into it here and open these up. And it looks like they open from the side. So I'll see if I can get one that's not gonna, I don't want to damage anything. Alright. And okay, we got them open without wrecking anything, which is good. There's actually quite a few cards in here. Alright, so just inside the box, just has a little divider here, so you kind of put the cards down so that they fit inside those slots. And we got our back here. So this is actually the symbol from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. They have one of the things that they have kind of scattered throughout the book are these little, I guess they're supposed to be comments that like Xanathar is making, and each of them have this symbol, which is just the big, it's basically the beholder's body type of thing. So there's the eye in the middle, and then the 10 lines that come out from it represent the eye stalks. Alright, so just showing off the first ones here, we have, excuse me, we have Find Greater Steed and Control Flames. Now it doesn't look like, looks like once you tear this wrapping off, and that's it. There are some of them that have like the little tab that you can pull around, and for those ones, because I try to keep stuff in as good a condition as possible, I like to put the items back in the sleeves, or back in the plastic that it came in, but looks like that's not going to happen here. So let's just very carefully just see if I can get this open here. Now it looks like on the back, I believe the number here is the level of the spell, which we'll find out when I actually get these open. This thing is being quite difficult. Alright, so I'll just keep that one probably like that for now. I'm not going to go through each of the individual spells, but so first thing, these are laminated, so they actually have sort of a nice feel to them. They don't feel cheap, so it doesn't feel like a cheap paper. It's nice and laminated, which is good. It's one of those things that it looks like it would hold up well to being used at the table. Of course, you have to kind of, looks like you have to separate them a little bit. I don't know if that sound's picking up or not, but just because where they're laminated and pressed together, they were pressed together pretty tightly, so Got a little bit of sound coming when you try to pull them apart, but let's just have a look at our spell here. So this is Control Flames. It is a one action casting time. Just uses somatic components. Has a range of 60 feet. The duration is instantaneous, and it is a transmutation cantrip. And on the back we have 0, which is cantrips used to be referred to as 0-level spells back in like 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons. So there you go, and it gives the spell description. So it says you choose a non-magical flame that you can see within range that fits within a 5-foot cube. You affect it in one of the following ways. So you instantaneously expand the flame 5 feet in one direction, provided that wood or other fuel is present in the new location. You instantaneously extinguish the flames within the cube. You double or half the area of bright light and dim light cast by the flame, change its color, or both. This change lasts for 1 hour. You can cause simple shapes such as a vague form of a creature, an inanimate object, or location to appear within the flames and animate as you like. The shapes last for 1 hour. When you cast, if you cast a spell multiple times, you can have up to 3 of its non-instantaneous effects active at any time or at a time, and you can dismiss such an effect as an action. So there you go, and so these, like I said, these are something that I'd really like to have the full set of. The reason that I haven't been too actively pursuing this tends to be the fact that I am the Dungeon Master. I don't very often get a chance to actually play as a player, but that's pretty cool. And I think these symbols in the corner are what the spellcasting classes are that you can use. So this looks like Wizard, Sorcerer, and I think that's Druid, which would make sense. So we just got other things like Create Bonfire, Fire, and this one has a higher levels effect. Okay. And this is another cantrip, so we got another 0. I think these are in order by their levels, so let's just kind of skip ahead past the cantrips. And this should have every spell that was in the Xanathar's Guide to Everything. So we've also got Catapult. So this is a first level transmutation. Looks like it's Sorcerer and Wizard only. It has a higher levels ability. And we've got the number 1 there, so that is definitely the level. So casting time, range 60 feet, somatic component, and it's instantaneous. So choose one object weighing 1 to 5 pounds within range that isn't being worn or carried. The object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in a direction you choose before falling to the ground, stopping early if it impacts against a solid surface. If the object would strike a creature, the creature must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the object strikes the target and stops moving. In either case, both the object and the creature or solid surface take 3d8 bludgeoning damage. Alright, so again, I'm not going to go through every single card that's in here, because again, it should just be the entire spell list from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. I have heard also that some of the elemental evil spells were in here. And I gotta be honest, I don't know, I can't remember the elemental evil spells off the top of my head. Although, as an aside, this is one of the items that I picked up with my Patreon funds for the month of December. I did also finally go on to the DM's Dungeon Masters Guild, and I ordered a print copy of the Elemental Evil Player's Companion. So I just did that, so it's probably going to be a while before it comes in. Hopefully I won't forget. I also had placed an order for, I think it was Dreams of the Red Wizards, which was one of the D&D Next playtest items. One of the adventures that sort of came out after like Murder in Baldur's Gate and Legacy of the Crystal Shard. It's a semi-sequel to the Siege at Dragonspear Castle, I think it was called, which was only available, I think, as an online playtest. I don't think they ever sold physical copies of that, or if they did, it was limited to like at a convention. And I think it was the same thing for Dreams of the Red Wizards. I think it was a print-on-demand only. I don't think they ever actually had it available at retail. At least I never saw it. And I don't see it in their product listings. So anyway, on the Wizards website. So like I said, not going to go through all of them here. So just kind of an example of what's in here, what the cards look like, all the different things. So we got the duration up to a minute. Wonder if they have any that are concentration, that have concentration up to a minute. Because that's the one thing that I haven't seen on any of these, and I don't know how many of these actually had concentration as part of their duration. When it says up to a minute, I'm going to assume that that means that anything that says up to, I'm pretty sure is concentration. Anyway, it doesn't say it necessarily on there, so that may be the only sort of downside to these. Oh wait, never mind, I'm an idiot. Right there, that symbol means concentration. So, yeah. So before anyone says anything, I caught my own mistake. So yeah, so the concentration is noted there. The also other cool thing is the material component is listed there. So these are really nice, actually. It's pretty cool, nice thing to have, especially if you are a player and you want to use these spells. So they do have these out available, although they can be very difficult to find. Gale Force Nine was a company that put these out, and they do excellent work. Not a sponsor or anything, I wish they were, but they do a lot of really fantastic stuff. The only issue tends to be the availability of a lot of these things. So if you're a fan of the spell cards and you weren't aware that this was a thing that's out now, then yes, Xanathar's Guide to Everything has spell cards out and available. And if you've never seen the spell cards before from Gale Force 9, but you're interested in maybe having them, then this is what they look like, and this is sort of how to read them. So. And again, I think that these things are fantastic because of the fact that they prevent you from having to constantly flip through books. So it's a lot easier to have your spells on these cards and just have them, you know, in a pile next to your character sheet than constantly having to find which book the spell was in and flip through, find the correct listing for it. So I think that these things are really great, and again, I would love to get the rest of them. It's just a matter of how easy they're going to be to find in the area of the North America where I live. So again, also the artwork on the front is fantastic. Love beholders, so like for me this was a no-brainer. There was other stuff that I was considering picking up, but once I saw this and saw that on the front of the box, then yeah, this is what I wanted to get. And as far as the storage and stuff goes, it seems all right. The cardstock for the box does feel a little bit flimsy, so I don't know how many times you're going to be able to like put the cards in, open and close it without stuff starting to tear. That's sort of my only real concern there, so you're probably better off finding something else to transport these in than the original boxes that they come in, just because again these don't necessarily feel like they're going to hold up. I mean, when I was just trying to open this, I was really terrified that something was going to rip. So that's, I guess, probably the only real downside that I would say, because otherwise this thing is fantastic. So anyway, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You know, if you like these cards or not, if you are looking to pick these up, what you think of them in general, and if there's any things that you could suggest to improve the way that they, you know, convey the information, let me know that as well, because everything here looks pretty good. I know that they did redesign them. I don't know what the originals look like, but they did go through and redesign them somewhat to make them, I think, easier to read. So I don't know if must be the final result of that. So anyway, I don't know what they look like before, but these things are really cool. So anyway, let me know what you guys think, and if you have these, you know, or any of these other ones, let me know how great they are, or how, you know, your experiences have been with them. And I look forward to reading your comments. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Funding for this video has been made possible by the awesome supporters I have over on my Patreon page. For as little as $1 a month, each and every one of you that's been contributing has made this channel possible. I'd like to provide special thanks, especially to Kennedy S, as well as David L and Michael L for your generous contributions as well, which have gone a long way to making a lot of these product reviews and things that I do possible and available to me. So again, funding for this video has been provided by my Patreon backers, and I can't thank each and every one of you enough.